Hi, it's Will from stormthecastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as Epic Fantasy, and this is my latest tutorial. You could guess what I'm going to make. This is the burial blade from Bloodborne. That's right. So yeah, can you see all of that? All right. Now this isn't like a combat weapon. You can't really use it. It's only made out of foam board. But you can open it and close it, take the blade off. Well, let me show you. Right. This is how he fights with it, right? And of course it folds up. And that's what you got. Fun project. Pretty easy to make. I give you the template so you can print out that template and use that to make yours. Dioramas, origami, catapults, and trebuchets, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees, and paper games, swords and shields, and real blacksmithing, model boxes, animation. I teach the art of real creation. stormthecastle.com. Let's make something. Okay, print up the template. The link is in the description of this video down below where you can go and get it. Cut out the parts. Now there are three major assemblies to this template. There's the A, the B, and the C. This is the A. Put that together. And it shows you right on the template exactly how to tape those pieces together. And this shows you the B and the C. See, there's the B. And this is the C. 3 parts on the B, 3 parts on the C, and 4 parts on the A. So there we go. Once you got those all put together, let's work on the A, the blade, the scythe blade. Put it on foam board and trace out 2 of them. Easy enough. And then cut those pieces out. Now put the 2 pieces together like this, one on top of the other, and mark an X on them, like this. Mark an X on this one, and then flip it over and mark an X on the other one, keeping them together. This is because we're going to bevel the blade, see? And only bevel the inner curve all the way from the point to the bottom, and only on the side with the X on it. On both of them. That's because we're only doing one side, so when we glue them together, the blade will come to an edge. Those bevels will come to an edge. So do both pieces like that, and then glue them together. I like 3-in-1 glue is really nice, but you can use just about any kind of glue to do this. I'm going to show you a little tip. When you're gluing 2 pieces together, particularly big pieces, you put them together and you just roll them around a little bit like that. Slide them around. That spreads the glue. It's going to make a really strong hold. Now you can trim it a little bit to make it nice and even, the 2 pieces glued together. And let's seal and harden the edge all the way around it, from one end all the way around the other end, by putting some glue on it and then spreading the glue with your fingers on the edges and the foam that is exposed. Not on the whole blade, just the foam that is exposed. Now, here's the B piece. The B template, you trace 2 of those. And the C template, you trace 2 of those. And we're not done with these templates though, so don't put them away. Now take the B template and cut off these pieces here that are shaded. See, there's that piece, and there's this piece, and we'll zip to the end of it there. Flip it around and cut off this piece too. Well, just like that. See that? That's the joint that that's going to be attached to. So cut that piece off too, of the B template. And in the C template, cut that piece off also. So now that you kind of got new B and new C, because you've cut them, you trace out 2 of those of each. 2 of those and 2 of the C. So now what you end up having is 8 pieces. Not counting the blade, those were another 2 pieces that we glued together. So take all those 8 pieces and cut them out. Right here. Look, isn't that nice? See on these little, alright, so let's put them together. Let's start with the A. Put a full one down, like this. And then the reduced sized A that you made, put 2 of those and glue them onto it, right like this. See how you cut out that part? And you cut off the ball joint at the end, the other end. Glue it down, Glue another reduced one on. And then glue your final A on it, on top. Now what happens is, this causes a nice interlocking area that's going to interlock with the other piece. See it in there? Like that. And in there. And at the other end. Like this. See? Now you can see how these pieces are going to go together. So glue all 4 of those together. Now for the C piece, a little bit different. Take your 2 full pieces, like this, and glue them together. And then take the partial pieces and glue one on top like this, and one underneath. Although we flip it over here to show you. Technically now it's not underneath anymore, but see, like that. And then you glue those 4 like that. So on this one, the 2 full pieces are in the middle. On that one, the 2 full pieces are on the outside. See, so see how that's going to assemble and hinge? That is going to hinge. Very nice. So you've glued those pieces together. Once the glue dries, bevel the edges. And you don't have to bevel the edges, but it makes for it more comfortable and it looks better. So bevel all the edges and trim any excess and sand anything smooth like this. So everything looks good. See how the layers are a little inconsistent? You can trim those and sand them so they're nice and uniform like that. Okay, and just like we did with the blade, put white glue on the foam edges where the foam is exposed and spread it with your fingers. This seals it and strengthens it. Do that on, and don't forget these inside pieces like this where the foam is exposed, where you cut bevels, or anywhere the foam is exposed. Okay, once that dries, go ahead and Mod Podge everything. If you have Mod Podge will help keep the colors, will preserve it, will keep it stronger, and it's good for it. And then we can paint it all. So paint all those pieces black. This is just a base coat, but we'll paint it a little bit more later. That was part A. Now we do part, this is, let me see, this is C, and part B. There you go. Very nice, I like it. See, so this is what's going to happen, right? B and C are going to go together like this. So put them together so they touch on this end right here. So they touch right here, I'll show you. Put them together so they touch there. And now we're going to make the holes for the hinge mechanism. Now to do that, we need some dowels, some pins, some kind of pin. We're using a 1/4" dowel. We're going to actually, I got some extra pins here. We're going to need 2 pins that are 1 1/4" long and 1 pin that is 1 inch long. And on all the pins, do this. Write a line on it. Trim it a little bit. Use a knife or a hacksaw or something. And this is so we can put a string in it. Watch, I'll show you. Right like this. Then we're going to wrap a string on that. So you can paint those up if you want. These are already painted, or you can wait to paint them later. So you have 1 like that and 2 like that. That one's for the scythe blade, and that double is for the mechanism between the 2 lengths. So while you're at it, cut yourself something like this out of your dowel, because we need that to pierce holes. So take the template like this and notice those 2 lines, put them on there like this, along that line. And then puncture those 3 holes. And I'll speed this up a little bit. You don't need to watch all of this. Use any tools you got. You could even use a drill. And then use your dowel to finish those holes off. Because if you use the same size dowel as the pins, it's kind of nice. Because then you know you've got the holes the right size. But see what we got there? And you can open it up and finish those holes off if need be. Finish all 3 of those holes. Now, put a pin in the middle one. That is your short pin, your pin that is only 1 inch long. And then glue it in place. Put glue on this end, flip it over and put glue on the other end. Now what you have is a hinge mechanism. Look, watch. Like this. Test it. Make any adjustments as necessary. You can trim that foam a little bit if you need to. But there you go. Open and close. Starting to look like a scythe. Or a burial blade, I guess you could say. Now, If your holes don't match up in the open position, you can always cut yourself another hole. See, that one matches up nice. This one didn't, the other one didn't match up nice. Go ahead and pierce another hole in there. So you have, this way you can pin it when it's closed and you can pin it when it's open. Clean those up. There we go. We put a hole, good to go. Now we have a hole when it's open and matching holes when it's closed, right there. So you can put the pins in it. Very good. That's the most important thing. If you want this to lock in the open and closed position. So now the blade, put it on there like that and mark it. Once you get it in position like this, see it? It's going to go on that B piece. Mark it like this, only as a guide so you know you have enough room to put your pin in. Then insert it, and it goes on like this. A little bit tricky. Remember, you can sand things down a little bit if you're having trouble with them. But see, now that blade is on there. Now we can mark a hole that goes right through both pieces. And do like you did. Puncture it, open that hole a little bit, and use your sharpened dowel to finish the hole to get it to the right size. There we go. So now let me show you something here. Dry brushing with silver. You put silver paint on your brush, wipe most of it off like we did on the foam there, and then just lightly brush it on here like this. See, paint it all. And the blade, kind of nice, have fun with this, and put a lot of silver here, because that's the cutting edge, that inside curve, all of that, on that whole side of it is the inside cutting curve. So put a lot of silver on there, and finish off the silver painting. Have some fun with this. Looks really good. It's easy to do. Once you laid in a base of black, the silver lightly goes on. It looks good. So now once all that paint is dried, now you Mod Podge it. If you have Mod Podge, it's totally optional. You're going to use a spray sealant on it if you want, or some kind of other sealant. So now we want cloth wrapped on this. This is how you do it with an old t-shirt. Cut yourself strips like this. Start at the absolute bottom near us, but don't cut all the way to the top. Leave some up there a couple of inches like this. See ya? At the bottom here near us, they're cut, but to the end of the t-shirt, but there's still loops. Now, and then do this, open that up and draw diagonal lines. So what happens here is you're going to cut on those diagonal lines. You end up with one continuous strip of t-shirt. It's kind of neat. So now you have plenty of t-shirt you can tinker with one long strip of it. And a viewer suggested, for the last Bloodborne tutorial, a viewer suggested that we could soak this t-shirt in tea to give it a nice old and aged color. So that's what we did. So you can continue cutting those, and you end up with a very long strip of t-shirt. So very nice. So brew yourself up some tea. Nice and dark. Let it cool. And then you can put your t-shirt in there for a couple of minutes. The longer it stays, the darker it will get. But that ages it. Now let's wrap it. So on the blade, we just do the handle. And on the arms of it, we do different spots. There, here, there, and there. So yeah, those 6 points. So let's go ahead and do that. You want to open it up as you're wrapping it, like this, just on the handle. You know, and use hot glue gun or some kind of glue to hold it all in place. And then you do your pieces like this. I'll show you on the arms. Just wrap a few wraps in those 6 different locations like that, and it looks good. And you're just about done. I like it. Yay! So now you can put your pins in the open position or the closed position. And now this isn't for use. You can't be swinging this thing around. This is just for show. It's only foam board, so you can't expect it to be, solid like steel. And you put the blade in, And you can pin that too. It holds in there pretty nice, particularly with the cloth. Then you can put the pin in and pin it in place to hold it. So there you go. And if you don't want to lose that pin with the string, tie it around like this. So you can just unpin it and it'll dangle. I like it. And see all those scraps of cloth, t-shirt cloth hanging like that? That's a nice look. Do that. Have lots of scraps, feathered and tethered ends and tattered ends. If you want to make it stronger, wrap it at different points where near the joints to strengthen up the foam board, like here. Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button. I always have lots of fun and interesting and very creative projects. I do 2 new ones every week. As an example, here's a couple more videos you might want to watch.